Hello everyone. Today I'll be talking about, I guess what you could say, mainstream mice, kind of mice like Logitech, Razer, everyone can recommend, everyone owns. If people don't want to go too deep into looking for the best mouse, they'll just say, hey, go buy a Logitech G Pro, or they're pretty good. And then it's just like, done, that's all you need to do. It's a very safe shape. There's nothing that you don't have to like hyper analyze the way you grip a mouse to know that the Logitech will be perfectly fine for you. Or if you buy the Razer Viper V3, it'll be fine for you as long as you have, an okay, as long as you have a big enough hand shape. Because if your hands are too small, they won't fit. Other than that, though, that's really the only downside to those mice. Today, I want to dive into why you don't really need to buy those anymore. The market has like widened so much, and the technology that you can use in these types of mice now, it's so vast that like you don't need to spend that extra like $30 or $40 for a Logitech or a Razer to get a perfect mouse anymore. Yeah, so those big companies will have lower chances of QoC issues. They're gonna have a good warranty. They'll have great shipping. You can buy them from Amazon. If you have Prime, you get them delivered like the next day if you live in the US or close to a warehouse. And usually you can buy like a G Pro or a Death Adder or a Viper V3 for about 150 USD. A lot of the cheaper mice now that I'm seeing around are like 90 to 120. And what you're getting for that is 98% of the way there for those big brands, or you're just getting a better experience. Like my Lamzu Atlantis right here. There's a very good argument that this is 100% better than my G Pro that I have. It may have better click feel. It has 8K, where my old Logitech doesn't, but still. It could have a better scroll wheel feel. It has a better shape. Like this shape, it could be a lot better for someone that claw grips, and someone that maybe has a bigger hand that wants to grip like a hard claw, or someone who wants to do a hybrid that has maybe a medium-sized hand. That can work a lot better rather than someone that has a G Pro, because a G Pro is a very safe shape. It's very rounded. It's an egg shape, so it's perfect for people that. But this one, it curves in a lot more. Right there. There we go. The G Pro, I think you're pretty much stuck to the big skates. The Lamzu, you have a choice because it's rounded completely. Right there, it's rounded completely. So you can just stick any type of feet you want on it. So if you want a very smooth or a quicker feeling experience, you put on the very small pads and you put on quick pads like Tiger Arts or Hyperglides or Glass Skates. But if you want a smooth feeling, you can put on like a slower skate like I know the default options are pretty good. The core pads, you can put on bigger ones, so that way you have a more smooth experience. There's more customizability with these small brands because they have to stick out more. Same with Pulsar. I know they offer their own. You can build your completely own custom mouse. I know it's a bit more expensive. I think it's the same. I think it's like 140, 150 USD, but you can completely customize it to your heart's content. And that's something that Logitech or Razer, blah, 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 don't offer. And a lot of the time, those big mainstream companies don't have to innovate as hard to get sales. They actually raised their prices when the G Pro X2 came out because it wasn't that innovative. It didn't come with 8K at the start, and their price was like $40 more than the old G Pro. It was crazy. It's like, I'm not buying that. Now they have lowered it down to normal prices again, so that's good. So now it's competitive again. But still, just scummy things that these big companies do that they don't really deserve your money. Yeah, and if you're willing to put a bit more research and thought into your mouse choice, which one you want, you could go a little bit cheaper, like the Lamzu Pulsar, and just buy their default 1K mouse, which is probably, I have to check, but I'll put it up on screen. I'm gonna guess it's 90 USD. They offer a lot more shapes, because again, they have to stand out. I know Lamzu offer an ergo shape, an ambi shape, they offer the claw grip shape, there's a lot of options. They're all like the exact same price. So no matter what you want, if you know the brand's good, you can just see what mouse shape you would like more and then just buy it. Instead of having to, just buy a mainstream mouse like Logitech and just be kind of stuck with not the best mouse for your hand. And another thing is they offer different sizes A lot of companies nowadays are offering different sizes. They offer the mini for like just the clock or the fingertip, which are like that big. So if you just want a fingertip mouse, yeah, you can just grip it like that, and it's perfect for people that don't want to rest their palm on anything. Um, they also offer mini sizes and regular sizes, and that can go into different ways as well. Like Pulsar is an example, the mini versus the regular X2. The regular X2 is a very chunky, wide mouse, and it's only really good for big hands that want a claw grip. Whereas the mini is a lot better suited for people who maybe want a fingertip who have bigger hands, people that want a claw grip that have medium to large hands, but still don't want, that full feeling in their hands. They can have a bit smaller of an experience. And that's what makes them stand out. And there's not many cons to buying mice like that nowadays because those companies are getting bigger and bigger as well. So maybe they have a higher chance of some QC issues and some longer shipping times, which is a small price to pay when the mouse itself is really good, I think, as long as it's not crazy delayed, but sometimes it can get crazy. Cough, cough, final mouse. But as long as the mouse itself is, up to your liking, who cares? Personally, I would recommend looking into buying the smaller brand mice. I know there's a ton of companies now out there. I'm going to put a list up here of mice you can look into. And yeah, all of them have different, little quirks. I know, like, ones like Endgame Gear, they offer mice kind of like the mainstream mice, but they're a bit heavier. They have 8K, they have the right technology, but they're a bit more for that smooth factor and that consistent factor. They really try and make sure their mice are perfect before they ship it out. Things like Lamzu or Pulsar or Final Mouse or Logitech now. Their mice are kind of skimping on a little bit of QC issues, like they can creak a bit if you push them down a little bit too hard, flail it around, you hit it a few times, yeah, it's not concrete. Mice like Zowie and Endgame Gear, those just last. They just survive. Those things are tanks. But they're a bit more heavy, but if you want that, then those are there for you. There's a lot more options in the niche mouse scene than there is just with, oh, go buy a Razer, bro, they're perfect, bro, or go get a Logitech. I heard my friends all had that. So much more options. And that's why I want to push out the narrative of more people knowing about these mice, so that way everyone has a better experience, you support a smaller company, and it keeps the scene alive. It keeps them innovating, it keeps money out of greedy corporations, and it makes us as consumers have a better experience with mice. It's a win-win-win for all of us. Anyway, that's my rant over for the day. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time in probably 5 years. See ya!